Coming up.
Language has to move forward, surely.
Yeah, I'll try to let go of all my control freakism.
You were the one that brought it up.
My mouse ball is sticky.
Yeah, the cows and the horses, yeah.
So it's your fault.
At least some of the bits can connect with some of the people.
Hoe zeg je dat?
It is interesting to go second.
They're not right for what that particular client wants at that particular time.
Exactly, you're serving the best steak in the world, but the client's looking for salmon.
Could you tell me how to pronounce the name?
Oh, there you go.
The pressure's too much.
So there.
And now, enjoy the podcast.
How do you say that?
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 Hello and welcome to today's episode of How Do You Say That? Sponsored by BritishVoiceover.co.uk. Let me introduce you to Mr. Mark Rice.
Hello, I'm over here. Hello.
Hello.
Let me introduce you to the award-winning Miss Sam Boffin.
Thank you, Mark. Hello. Every week, we and a very special guest get together for a chat about scripts and voiceover and anything else that springs to mind about the voice industry.
Indeed. So if you use a mic in your work, whether you're a voice actor or you work with voiceovers, or maybe you're a podcaster perhaps, this is hopefully worth a listen.
Well, hopefully, yes. So today, we've got a fun fact about Mark, and it is that he could have been a male model at an early age.
Well, my dad was doing his MA and it was all about water.
He needed the money.
No, it was all about water. And he was a lecturer at a college. So he asked this quite good-looking female student and quite good-looking male student to play mum and dad, and I was playing the 5-year-old kid in all of these photos. So we had a setup in the kitchen, drinking water and washing up, and a setup in the bathroom, and a setup like washing the car, and he would take the photos, and it was all for his thesis. So to say it could have been a male model, I did enjoy it.
I bet you were really sweet.
I really was. I was a cute kid. Yeah, put it that way.
I bet you were.
Well, Sam's fun fact is that she once left the bath on one night when she came home drunk as a teenager and flooded the entire hall downstairs. Wow.
I did. And the only reason I knew was because I staggered downstairs, in the middle of the afternoon. And my parents were there stripping the wallpaper in the hall downstairs.
Were they livid?
No, bizarrely. They sort of came down and I said, "Oh, you're redecorating." And my mum, kind of up a ladder, looked at me and said, "No, I think somebody left the bath on with the plug-in last night." And I went, "Oh my God, no." I can't remember exactly what I said. But anyway, I think that my mother was secretly pleased because she wanted to actually redecorate the hall for ages. But they never, ever, ever told me off about it, which I'm staggered at.
Funny. That is staggering. Well, of course, we also have a special guest this week who is voice actor Bart Kooiman. Hello, Bart. How are you?
Hello, Mark. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
So we were doing lots of talking at the One Voice conference a couple of weeks ago, and it's lovely to have you on the show.
I'm going to tell you a bit about Bart.
Yeah, please
do. Bart was born, and I presume you still live in Amsterdam. And his clients include brands like Citroën, Head & Shoulders, Heineken, Listerine and the Red Cross. And he works primarily in Dutch, but with his Dutch to neutral European accent, he is booked in English as well. And Bart has had a knack for acting since he was a boy. Rather like you, actually, Mark, in that respect, I think.
We began early, Bart, yeah.
At 13, he did his first voiceover job for Dutch national television, voicing a group of 16 Moldavian foster children.
Bart began his voice acting business in 2019 and discovered it is the best career in the world. He's mostly booked for explainers, but he also loves it when he can go all the way with crazy acting roles. Today's going to be good, Bart. As one of his clients once put it, Bart is like a speech chameleon. He calls himself a Dutch voice nerd because playing with words is what makes him get up every day. Well, that and his 3 kids. Welcome to the podcast, Bart. Have you got a fun fact to share with us?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I do. My fun fact is that apart from Dutch, I also speak a little Frisian, which is, together with Scots, considered to be English's closest living relative.
Hang on, you said Frisian, like what Frisian, the cows speak?
Yeah, the cows and the horses, yeah.
Really?
Used to be like a nation, big nation, older than the Netherlands.
Wow.
And it's currently spoken by only a couple of 100,000 people in the north of the Netherlands, including my wife.
Wow.
And that's why I learned.
Could you give us a blast of Frisian?
I was afraid of this.
You were the one that brought it up. I mean,
No, but for example, there's one sentence That's boter, breeën en green het zie is. Wat dat net sissekin is gien op riochte fries.
And you said,
Meaning butter, rye bread and green cheese, green het cheese. Who cannot say that is not a true Frisian.
and on that bit of historical interest, let's have a look at our first script of the show and ask, how do you say that?
How do you say that?
Okay, so this is something I've been working on fairly recently. I don't think it's out until the end of the year. And if you look at what the subject matter is, you'll realise why it isn't out until the latter part of the year.
Indeed, it's about pantomimes. This is a documentary, presumably.
It is, yes.
And you're pretty much a couple of weeks ago fresh from your win with documentaries at the One Voice Awards. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
If you were there, the whole room erupted when you won. So
bless
it's,
ya.
Anyway. So the one thing I've learned, I've got to ask the who, what, why, where and when.
Oh, Lordy, you have been listening. Okay,
I have been
yes.
listening. Who is it? Who's it for, this one?
Well, I suppose this one is for people who like sort of quirky history, if you like. It is a history of the pantomime, but it also is, it brings us right up to date with the pantomime as well. So, if you like theatre, acting, history, culture, arts, it's that kind of thing.
Is there upsound between these sentences?
No, we're going into a piece of upsound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else that you can give me to help me, Sam?
Take the cue from the words. It's quite conversational. It's informative, but they've worked hard to put quite contemporary language in there, so it's not stuffy or formal at all.
Okay. Well, I'll have a go, and then Bart can have a go, and then you can show us what you did. Right. Here we go then. Pantomimes are full of quick changes and transformations, and the dressers, often poised in the wings, are on hand to help with fastenings and complicated costumes. Zips can be a nightmare, quick if they run smoothly, but disastrous if they stick. There are few things more likely to stress out an actor than the panic of going on stage half-dressed. Quick change costumes are designed so that they can be removed quickly, and rigged so that they can be put on quickly, very quickly.
Lovely. You did a nice little bit of humanisation under that. It's very nice. What did you think, Bart?
I liked it. I thought for documentary maybe a bit fast.
Yes.
Oh, it's always my thing, isn't it? I've got to slow down on everything I do. It's like, yeah, maybe.
I agree. Probably a bit fast and slightly, even though it's pantomime, slightly big. I think there was an energy there, which I really liked.
Yeah, I could see it in front of me, yeah.
Yep.
Too big. I was thinking panto, which is why I kind of probably went bigger than I should have done.
So I think if it was an audio piece, then you would get away with that a little bit more because you'd have to embody the spirit of pantomime. But I think because it is, a visual piece, because it's a TV doc. Mm-hmm. The visuals are doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Not
You're
necessarily.
going to be complimenting what the visuals are doing. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than explaining the whole thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Having said that, I have been asked to do big reads before, and they, on visuals, but on documentaries, yeah. And you never know; they may get me back in to redo it once they. You never know.
You never know, but that's not your feeling. It's like
No.
Less is more. Yes, Sam, is that what we're going with? Less is more.
Yes, the trick is, you're absolutely right. Trying to get the energy in, but not overpoweringly so. But yeah, absolutely, yeah.
All right, Bart, give it a go in your own time.
Yeah, painting the picture. All right. Pantomimes are full of quick changes and transformations, and the dressers, often poised in the wings, are on hand to help with fastenings and complicated costumes. Zips, though, can be a nightmare. Quick if they run smoothly, but disastrous if they stick. There are few things more likely to stress out an actor than the panic of going on stage half-dressed. Quick change costumes are designed so that they can be removed quickly and rigged so they can be put on quickly, very quickly.
Pace was lovely, wasn't it, Sam?
Really
yes,
nice,
pace
yeah.
was really good then.
And you teed up the up sound that is going to come in after that. Yeah, really well, actually. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was a lot of bounce in that, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was a nice sort of, had a read with a lot of intimate sort of bouncy energy, which I loved.
I'm wondering if that's Bart's natural kind of rhythm, because words like fastenings and complicated and nightmare and disastrous all have that beautiful rhythm that Bart's got with his speaking voice.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I also thought it would be a nice one for you, Bart.
Yeah, but there's still that, what I'd call a wink in the script as well, There's some humour there, not too much.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah.
I wonder if I went too fast to get the wink coming out properly. I was trying for that.
I was happy you started with that, Mark, because my first read is like twice the speed that I just did.
It is interesting to go second, and it's interesting to
Yeah.
go first because it does give you different things. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely.
Well, there we go, Sam. Let's find out what you did with it then. I'm hoping you're not going to pull something strange out of the bag.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. No, it is what it is. Pantomimes are full of quick changes and transformations, and the dressers, often poised in the wings, are on hand to help with fastenings and complicated costumes. Zips, though, can be a nightmare. Quick if they run smoothly, but disastrous if they stick. There are few things more likely to stress out an actor than the panic of going on stage half-dressed. Quick change costumes are designed so that they can be removed quickly and rigged so that they can be put on quickly. Very quickly.
Lovely humanisation with the laughing in there. A couple of little laughs after Nightmare and Half Dressed. I mean, and in exactly the right place, because I think that is the wink that we were talking about, isn't it?
Yes, I guess. Absolutely. There was. I did worry that when I was doing it, there was. I mean, it was a directed session, but I did worry when I was doing it that there was a bit too much of that.
Okay.
But of course, you only hear me sporadically.
Yes, in
You see what I
between the
mean?
episodes.
You know, I'm
yes.
not. It's not wall to wall me. There's not. So when I come on, I've got to bring the fun to it, I suppose, as well.
Yeah, I really like the calmness of Sam's voice in general, and then through that, all these little, so like with the fun thing, zips though can be a nightmare. That was like just a little spark that it needs. Yeah, I really liked it.
You're right. That word calm is exactly correct.
There is also having been in pantomime and having been at a
I'm
stage.
sure that helps.
Absolutely. It really does, actually. With a lot of documentaries, I've found this. If you've actually got a vested interest or you're quite knowledgeable about it, yourself, it can bring a different dimension to it. I have been that person trying to be zipped, well, not zipped, trying to be buttoned in and out of a costume quickly. So I know how that feels. It's a real panic to try and get on, to try and get yourself together to then go on as, I don't know, transformed or whatever it happens to be.
Play, how do you say that? Well, it's worthwhile remembering that these are real scripts we've been working on, but we have changed some names and details to avoid copyright issues.
Now, Bart, your script's quite different. Tell us a bit about your script.
Yeah, so this script is for an explainer video I did with a client from Ireland, but their target audience is Europe. So they didn't want a UK or a USA accent because they wanted to appeal to like a bigger international crowd. Yeah, so sometimes they call me.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Did you have pictures with it, Bart?
I had some sketches, so like a mood board.
A storyboard? Yep.
Mood board. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, mood board, storyboard. So I had some of the images. It was 2D animation, very nicely done. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I got that to go from. But no music, nothing.
Okay, I was going to ask that. But and then they're going to cut it around your voice, around the tempo of your voice.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you love ones like that?
Yeah, we love them. Yeah, it was done with a live session, so we could, just
try
could
different
see what
things.
worked. Yeah, it was an audition, and what they liked was, I guess, what you just mentioned about. Well, maybe I shouldn't give away too much.
Yes, you're right.
Keeping
actually.
stuff back, eh? I
Say
see.
that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I should save something for,
Sam, our guests are
Exactly.
becoming more savvy at this, aren't they? It's like,
They are indeed.
well, this time you get to go first, Sam.
Right, okay. Okay, cool. Stressexe is a marketplace where bookings can be bought, sold and bid on. Here's how. Let's say a guy, call him Craig, makes a reservation. It could be for a barber or membership of a golf club, or maybe it's for a toy for his niece. But what happens if Craig can't use his reservation anymore? Maybe he has to work late, or maybe the sitter has cancelled. Craig's place goes to waste.
It's very human, isn't it, Bart? Very human.
Wow,
You brought a
yeah.
real kind of conversational feel to that, which I guess is what they would want.
Absolutely. this was amazing. This was, they should have cast you, but they didn't want the UK accent, so there.
Yes, exactly. So there.
Sorry about that. There steps in the Dutch voice nerd,
I love it. But you're right. I think you make a really good point, Bart, because often it's not because the individual voice can't bring it to the script. It's that they're not right for what that particular client wants at that particular time. And I think that's really important to remember that. It takes the sting of not getting something out of it.
But that's true with all auditions, isn't it? Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not getting it, not because you're rubbish, but because you're not right for that particular part.
Exactly. You're serving the best steak in the world, but the client's looking for salmon.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good way of putting it. I love that.
Yeah, that's such a nice thing to remember. Thank you, Bart.
Welcome to my restaurant, yeah.
Now I've got to do it like Bart, but also like Sam. And the pressure's too much.
Why don't you just do it like Mark?
Okay, I'll try.
Exactly.
I'll try. And slow it down. Okay. Stressexe is a marketplace where bookings can be bought, sold and bid on. Here's how. Let's say a guy, call him Craig, makes a reservation. It could be for a barber or membership of a golf club, or maybe it's for a toy for his niece. But what happens if Craig can't use his reservation anymore? Maybe he has to work late, or maybe the sitter's cancelled. Craig's place goes to waste.
Nice.
Wow, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. How did you feel about that, Mark?
I've done quite a few of this kind of thing, and I think Craig's place goes to waste. It's setting it up. Here's the problem. Mm-hmm. The problem gets harder, and you're really setting up where the solution is going to begin. Because I suspect the next bit of the video is all about the solution.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
I really like that as well. It was conversational. I know that's a word used loosely, but so a question maybe: did you envision someone talking to?
Not a specific person.
Right, because I could see you sitting there like, if this is a topic you would talk to over drinks or something. But
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
I don't think I got that conversational.
But is that what you did then, Bart? Did you use visualization when you were doing this? Like you were talking to somebody?
Yeah, I did, but not like I didn't go as literal as over drinks or at the bus stop or something. But yeah, I usually do that. And have someone in mind, picture someone in front of me, and then talk to them.
If you had the storyboard, you might have had an idea of what Craig looked like, maybe? I don't know.
Yes,
But,
I did, and so I can see like his peers in front of me. Yeah, like all kind of hipster millennial.
That's
That's
what
what,
that makes a difference already, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I told you I'd left something out there.
Yeah. Yes.
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 I
No,
see.
absolutely. That immediately makes it feel more real and approachable, doesn't it? It gives it a context. So I would love to hear what you did with it.
All right. Stressexe is a marketplace where bookings can be bought, sold and bid on. Here's how. Let's say a guy, call him Craig, makes a reservation. It could be for a barber or membership of a golf club, or maybe it's for a toy for his niece. But what happens if Craig can't use his reservation anymore? Maybe he has to work late, or maybe the sitter is cancelled. Craig's place goes to waste.
Now, I'll tell you what I got out of that. That was way lighter than I thought it was going to be, Sam.
I really liked that. I love it. And
Yes.
there was a beautiful bit you did. The whole thing was lovely, but a beautiful bit you did towards the end. Yeah, you kind of went into, but what happens if Craig? It was
Yes.
lovely. Maybe
Yep.
he has to work late. It was so nice, so sort of off the cuff. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, in my mind, millennials, I'm a millennial, can be a bit too serious about stuff. And when it's about bookings for restaurants and stuff, you need to lighten up.
Are you saying I'm an old fart, Bart? Is that what you're saying? It's like, it seems very unfair.
Those are your words,
Nicely
not mine.
parried there.
Okay, exactly. Yeah. I thought it was very bouncy as well, Sam.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
that's what I mean by light and bouncy. And I thought that had a real air of that you wanted to lean in and listen more.
For sure. Absolutely. And it just makes it really feel really kind of, listenable and
cool.
attractive.
Thanks, guys.
And it was lovely.
How do you say that?
Well, now is the moment of the wild card.
Yes.
So, yes, let's see if we can approach these scripts slightly differently. Bart, can you pick one of the scripts for Mark?
Oh, I've got to go first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you can.
And I'm at Bart's mercy as well.
You are.
Would you like...
You see the evil side of Bart.
you haven't seen that? Not bouncy now, am I?
Yes.
No, so,
Not bouncy now. Yeah, exactly.
so my wild card for you, Mark, is I would like you to be a guide in a zoo full of live animals, and you're showing a group of tourists a live dragon that is asleep in his cage.
Okay.
But you notice that the door of his cage is open. And a small, annoying Dutch boy is interrupting you all the time. Quite
Dutch
loudly.
boy, that's very specific.
It's very specific.
A small, annoying Dutch boy.
Okay. Now, what on earth, which script are you going to give me for that?
I'm thinking... What would be most annoying? Let's give you script 1 for this.
Okay. In a way that helps because it's a documentary describing something and a zookeeper would be describing something. So let's keep that in mind. So zookeeper showing the guests the dragon, realizing the dragon is cages open and the annoying little boy.
I like the idea that we've got to imagine that dragons really exist.
Oh, I'm there. That wasn't
You're there
the
already.
difficult bit of that.
That
bit.
wasn't your problem at all.
That's not the problem of this one.
You know,
Sam.
if it
No,
helps,
not at all.
make it a lion or something.
No,
but-
dragon is fine.
No,
Dragon
he's
is
there with the dragon. He
absolutely
loves the
fine.
dragon.
That's
All
not a
right.
problem. That's not a problem. All right, let's see what comes out. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, if we could be quiet because pantomimes are full of quick changes and... yes, all right. Fiery transform... Yes, I can come to that question in a minute. Fiery transformations. And be quiet. Quiet. There's a dragon. It could kill you. The dressers, often poised in the wings, are on hand to help with... fastenings and complicated costumes. Zips can be a nightmare. Quick if they run smoothly, but disastrous if they stick. Oh, there are... Quiet. There are a few things more likely to stress out a dragon than the panic of going on stage half-dressed.
But, sir...
Do not wake the dragon. Quick change costumes are designed so they can be removed quickly and rigged so they can be put on quickly. Don't go in there very quickly.
So that poor little annoying Dutch boy walked to his death.
Dragon wakes up, breathing fire, charred little boy.
Not a happy ending.
Grilled Dutch cheese.
Grilled little Dutch boy, yes, exactly. Grilled cheese. That was an interesting one to envision.
Absolutely.
Well
Absolutely.
done,
Now
yeah.
I think it's my turn now, isn't it?
Yes. So
To give
you give one to Bart. Yes.
to give one to Bart. Right, Bart. I'd like you to be a hairstylist,
Right.
Nice.
and you're trying to swiftly get through this particular customer because you're running late on this particular day. So at the same time, you're chatting, cutting, and doing the entire head within this script. Your script 2.
All right.
So you are a hairstylist in a hurry.
Well, let's just give it a try. All right, here you go. Did it offer you a drink? No. You don't need a drink. I see you're not thirsty. So, today, Stressexe is a marketplace where bookings can be bought, sold, and bid on. Yes, here we go. And there we go. A little bit more. A little bit up your chin. Yeah, thank you. Here's how. Let's say a guy, call him Craig, makes a reservation. Yes, it's clean by now. Come on. Give it a towel. Thank you. So he makes a reservation. It could be for a barber, or membership of a golf club, or maybe it's for a toy for his niece. They're almost done. Could you tell me the time? Okay, thank you. But what happens if Craig can't use his reservation anymore? Maybe he has to work late, or maybe even his Citrus cancelled. And give that a final one. And there. All done. Craig's place goes to waste. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Oh, can I not have a bit more off the top? Nice.
So did you do a lot of visualization there? I'm imagining that you did. I could see you, that this person sat in the seat and you stressing yourself.
Yes, I did. And I needed my colleagues as well to, hand me all the things. I don't have time for that. Just want to get it done.
Of course.
I thought it went very well. It worked very nicely. All right, Sam. I wrote it on a Post-it note earlier on. Here's the Post-it note.
That's normally me. I do that.
It also means that I've been slightly more detailed than normally I am.
Oh, Lord.
I'd like you to be a farmer.
Right then.
Installing an electric fence.
Right
and
then.
About every 5 or 7 seconds, touching it by accident and getting a small electric shock.
Okay, right. Oh, so quite detailed then. Which one would you like me to do?
I'm just looking forward to the reaction of the electric shock. I think the pantomime script, to be honest.
Okay. Pantomimes are full of quick changes and transformations. And the dressers, often poised in the wings, are on hand to help with fastenings and complicated costumes. Zip-so can be a nightmare. Quick if they run smoothly. Disastrous if they stick. There are a few things more likely to stress out an actor than the panic of going on stage half dressed. Quick change costumes are designed so that they can be quickly removed and rigged. So they can be going on quickly, very quickly. Bastard.
Oh, it felt quite painful, that. And it felt like the electric shock was getting more powerful throughout it.
I
It
could
was
feel that,
indeed.
That was lovely. That was a lovely bit of visualization, a lovely bit of vocal action going on there. Well, if you want to be electrocuted in your own booth,
Yes, how lovely.
you should probably say that a bit differently. As always, we've put the scripts in the show notes. You can have a try yourself of any of them.
You can. Now, our question this week is, so Bart, you are bilingual.
Yeah.
So that must be quite challenging at times. So how do you find out the pronunciations you need?
Oh, yeah, good point.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. When I don't know, well, usually, of course, you get a briefing and you include some voice notes in that if you don't know a pronunciation. But sometimes
There's always a client, though, that doesn't include
there's
it,
always
isn't
a
there?
client.
Always.
Yeah. And usually, like, for example, if they need it tomorrow and you finish your recordings at night and everybody is, home.
Oh, so everyone in the office has gone home? Yep.
Everyone in the office has gone home and you have no idea. And you can't find them like on YouTube how the company is pronounced. So you try to Google them and you can't find that.
Yep.
I would simply call up the company that it's about. It's after hours. Get their voicemail. And they probably call the name of the company and they know what it should sound like.
Because we are usually time poor, aren't we? And actually individual companies it'd be very unlikely to find an individual company that's a small individual company on YouTube.
Exactly.
Exactly right, yeah.
And if it's only 1 or 2 words, but if it's the company's name, that's probably everywhere, all over the script. So you can't just, do it the next day.
And what happens, though, if you think you've heard it, do you just keep phoning back? I'll just have that again. I'll just phone them again. Okay. Oh, no, I'll just do it another time.
Where do you find your pronunciations, Sam?
How'd you say is my favourite.
I love how'd you say.
Yeah,
Yes.
because he's got such a blank voice. Talking dictionaries?
Do you use Youglish at all?
No.
Because I find that quite useful, because that's the YouTube one where you type it in. And
I don't know how to find that. How do you find that?
Oh, I'll put a
Youglish? Is
link
it
in
an
the show
actual-
notes.
Well,
This
I'm
is an
taking
actual
notes
site.
here, yeah.
And so the
Yeah.
point is, you put it in and then it finds for you all of the videos on YouTube where that is mentioned.
Right.
And so you might get 4 different pronunciations, but you can make a fairly good go at it from the 4 that you've got.
Right. It must happen to you quite a lot, actually, Bart, where you actually have quite big discussions about pronunciations.
Yes, absolutely, but more in Dutch than about English scripts, actually. Because the Dutch language is a lot less stable, I'd say, than English. And it's being influenced by English, actually, a lot in the last couple of decades.
Gosh.
There's a lot of, like, Dutch young people. Like, I'm not Gen Z, right? But then Gen Z, for example, they will use English words in their vocabulary a lot more than I would. And not to talk of, like, generations that are a bit older even. And, that's really a thing here.
It's really important then to know who you're talking to or who your heartland or listener is, because then you presumably skew it to whatever they need to.
And there are trends. There are really trends in pronunciation as well, like the like inflections. Where in the word do you put them? Like I've never heard that in English that you'd see table instead of table.
Yeah,
true. Yes,
but in Dutch, there's like this thing. Maybe this is going too far into it, but like putting the inflection on the first syllable instead of where it was supposed to be. Yeah. Originally.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and presumably also you are sometimes directed by, you're presumably directed by all sorts of different nationalities.
Yeah, and ages and age groups.
Yes, of course.
I just think that language, from the point that language began, has flexed and changed and is constantly moving. So, if we still spoke, I don't know, like they did in Shakespearean England, which apparently is gorgeous, nonetheless, we would be sounding like that. Language has to move forward, surely. It has to flex and change and become different for it to stay alive and relevant.
Language is changing and young people are using more English and Dutch and all that, but also like dialects, and we have a lot of dialects in Dutch. I believe there's like 2,000 accents and dialects in Dutch only, and we've got 20 million people speaking it all over the world, so it's pretty crazy. But like you used to have to speak proper Dutch, like in the old days, and now it's not as much that anymore. They will ask for television or radio people with all kinds of accents and dialects. That kind of speech is also coming back in a way.
Well, that's good, isn't it, though?
So there's two sides to the coin, I guess, I think, for me it is.
I do think it is, in the same way that, now more than ever, we hear the richness of the different sort of dialects and accents that there are up and down the country. I just think it enriches rather than diminishes. I'm very passionate about this.
We do definitely hear more, absolutely. Bart, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on the show. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It was my pleasure. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, a reminder that all of Bart's details can be found in the show notes, as well as both the scripts that we were playing with as well.
Absolutely. So this is it for this week. Thanks again to the amazing Bart Kooiman, and we'll be back next week with more scripts and another voiceover guest when we'll be asking, all together now?
I'm ready.
How do you say that?
How do you say that?